Good evening, viewers. Welcome again to this edition of the State of Emergency. My name is Mr. Metaphysics, and I want to call the attention of the Ghanaian government and African people, and also the attention of YouTube and Nigerians in particular, to this guy called Kwaku Annan. Kwaku Annan, a YouTuber from Ghana, who operates the CTV program called The Frontlines on CTV Ghana. This guy is literally calling, he's not just calling for a protest, but he's calling for violence against the Igbo people living in Ghana. He literally, in his YouTube videos, said that Ghanaians should come out to protest against the Igbos who are about to celebrate their New Yam festival. And he says that if the Igbos dare to celebrate their New Yam festival, that is, to carry out their cultural way of life in their homes, cooking yam and eating it with palm oil, that if they do that they, Ghanaians, are going to storm them with snipers. He said that snipers are already ready with arms. So that means that snipers are positioned in places in Ghana, waiting for the Igbo people if they ever come out to celebrate their New Yam festival. And I'm surprised that this man's rhetoric, violent rhetorics, are allowed by YouTube algorithm. How is it that his statements and his videos were uploaded and YouTube did not find it offensive to bring it down? How is it that Nigerians and people of goodwill in general, even people from Ghana, good-willed people from Ghana, are not seeing this video and are not calling for it to be brought down? I think this is dangerous rhetoric. And it's a shame on Africa that at this time, just imagine yesterday, the People's Republic of China, the PLO, just had their 80th celebration of defeating Nazism, the Second World War. Just had their celebration also, defeating Japan, Japan invasion into their country. And in this army, we see the progress of China. We see China as a whole nation, as a country, pulling together many nations, many ethnic groups, coming together to make China what China is today. So China is totally united, not just as a country, but one nation. People of many nations coming together to form one nation out of many. And at this time, that the whole world is changing, the pendulum swinging from the west to the east, and countries trying to pull themselves up from with their bootstrap, that is when we see Africa in its lowest. I wonder, what is African Union doing with people like this man calling for the expulsion of Nigerians of particular ethnic group away from Ghana? You can't believe this. You can't make this up. This is 2025, and some people still think like this, think tribalistic like this in the world today. And when you look at this man, he's a man of about 60-year-old or something like that. This is not a young man. This is an older man he looks educated. But when he opens his mouth, the kind of hatred and bigotry that comes out of his mouth, and worst of all, he's encouraging the younger Ghanaians to follow in his footsteps. The younger people in Ghana are also taken onto YouTube to spew all this hatred and Igbophobia, xenophobia against the Igbo people, against people from Nigeria, certain people from Nigeria. They don't even care if you are Igbo anyway. Even if they cared whether you are Igbo separated from Nigeria, in Nigeria. If it is against all Nigerians, it's still evil. If it is against only Igbos, it's still evil. But why are people keeping quiet about what this man is doing? Most especially good-willed Ghanaians. Even if the government is not doing nothing, why are YouTubers in Ghana not speaking against this man? Because criminality, you cannot tag a people as criminals. It's not possible. One tribe cannot just... Criminality is not something that is in the gene. It's not something that is in the blood. It's not something that, people were born with. And each country have their constitution, their laws to punish criminals. So if somebody comes into your country and does something wrong, the law enforcement agencies are there to interpret the law for them. But when out of envy and jealousy, you single out a people, you are just about to repeat the same thing that happened in Rwanda and in Burundi. It's a big shame that Nigeria and Ghana shares a whole lot in common. They share culture, they share languages in common. The Ghan people and the Akan that travel along the ocean, travel all the way from Ilefe, travel all the way from Nigeria to Ghana. All these people, they are related. We have a whole people that left from the Oyo Kingdom and are right now in Ghana. They are Ghanaians. We have Igbo people that are in Ghana. In fact, the very language that Ghanaians speak has elements of Igbo words in it. The very language that Ghanaians speak have elements of Yoruba words in it. Same thing, Yoruba language has elements of Ghanaian language in it. Because Ghana is not just one tribe. It's more than one tribe. It's a mixture. So why the hate? Why the hatred? Why the envy? Why the jealousy? But apart from all that, I expect the people of Ghana, who knows that what this guy is doing is wrong, the elders of Ghana, I expect them to stand up and speak. Because if you keep quiet, you are complicit. If you keep quiet and these people continue to spew this hate, it multiplies. And the younger people who don't know better begin to, add their voice to what these people are saying. Remember, what has not reached you has not passed you. Today you are doing this to Nigeria. Again, I say, it will be done to you. In the beginning, when this xenophobia thing started in South Africa, South Africans were targeting Nigerians, specifically Nigerians. And other people kept quiet. At a time, it expanded from Nigerians to Zimbabwe, people from Zimbabwe, to people from Tanzania, to people from Ethiopia. And now, they didn't target the Indians. But look at what is happening in South Africa today. The Israelis, not even Israelites, the Israelis are traveling down to South Africa to take some lands in South Africa. The Ukrainians are traveling down to South Africa in huge numbers, trying to claim some white territories that white people are trying to make their own country in South Africa. So if all these people from these war-torn countries travel to South Africa and change the demography and call for a referendum to form their own independent country, what do you think will happen? It will go through. Because South Africa began by discriminating against Nigerians and expelling Nigeria from their country. Africa is not one. Why is there so much hate in Africa? Most especially hate against people who seems to be making it, against people who seems to be prospering, against Nigerians who seem to be making it in other countries, in other people's country. Why the hate? I think we have to ask ourselves a question. The reason why we are so fixated against Nigerians to leave whatever country where they are. If Nigerians commit crime, if they break the law, there is a constitution, there is a law in that country, and there are law enforcement agencies that should interpret the law and bring the Nigerians to book. So why are you so afraid of Nigerians? Remember again, I said, what has not reached you has not passed you. And according to a philosopher called Ben Hoffer, he said, how did he say it? I forgot the particular quote, but at this time, those who are keeping quiet, those who are keeping silent, those who could do something but refuses to do it are the reason why this is succeeding. In fact, I think I remember the way Ben Hoffer says it, he says, for evil to prosper, it is enough that good men do nothing. Yes, for evil to prosper, it is enough that good men do nothing. So there are many good Ghanaians. There are many good politicians. There are many good people in the country of Ghana. But they are keeping quiet. They are not saying anything in YouTube. They are not coming to enlighten the people. And because they've refused to enlighten the people, the ignorant people are the ones taken to the streets to protest against Nigerians that have done them nothing. Yes, they are ignorant, those who are protesting against Nigerians, because Nigeria is not the reason why things are expensive in the market. So for evil to prosper, it is enough that good Ghanaians do nothing. It's enough that good Ghanaians keep quiet, keep mute, and allow this crisis to continue to fuel, to fuel this crisis that's not supposed to be there. So I'm calling on good-willed people to take to the YouTube, take to the internet, use whatever platform you have to enlighten our brothers and sisters, our people in Ghana. Let them know that we are one people. We are from one family. We are all black people. If we treat ourselves this way, just imagine how people from Libya will treat us. People from Tunisia, people from Egypt, people in the Arab world, how do you think they will treat us if we treat ourselves this way? Or people in the United States, United Kingdom, in Europe, in Australia, when we travel out, how will people treat us? Even if we, within our own continent, have this level of discrimination and hate for each other. So we give other people the license to treat us very badly. So I'm actually just calling on people of goodwill that they should think about it and ask themselves, why is what is happening in Ghana? Why is it happening? It's not supposed to be. That the people simply want to celebrate their New Yam Festival and they fix the date to celebrate their New Yam Festival. What's the big deal about that? That the people say they had a cultural chairman, a leader, a king who rules over them, and they say this is our king in Ghana. How does that affect the life of Ghanaians? How does that affect your culture? It's just the way they arrange themselves. You see the Jewish people everywhere. They travel all over the world, and wherever the Jewish people are, they have a rabbi. A rabbi is like a king. He's like a bishop. He rules. But you don't attack that. You see the emir of the Islamic religion, you don't attack them. I'm saying this because we should not underestimate the power of stupid people. Do not underestimate the power of stupidity, the power of ignorant people. People in Nigeria, you're looking at this and you just think, oh, you don't take them serious. But you should take them serious because this is how it starts. This is how it starts. And before you know it, there is crisis and some people are dying. Nobody is supposed to die for this issue because it's not worth it. Thank you so much for listening to me this evening. Please, when you get this message, share this message, like it, and share it, and improve the algorithm. Let this good news get to our people. It's time we take charge of our actions, take charge of our lives, take charge of our nation, our country, our continent as black people by loving one another, coming together, doing things together, each one teach one, so that we can become one and act as one front, with one African frontier, not as 1,000 countries with 1,000 opinions, 1,000 differences. That is why we are so weak. If Africa unites, Africa becomes stronger. Thank you, my viewers. Please share this message. Thank you, and may God bless you.